Yeah, and I think once I get a full-time job, I'll probably move it into Future Super or another ethical super fund. But
yeah, definitely.
would you consider swapping your super fund, Tom?
I think at the moment, given that I don't currently have I sort of don't have a job, but like, yeah, I don't have that much super, so I mean, I haven't
Just stay where you are right now.
Yeah, or swap it to student super if I was going to do anything.
So the next topic I wanted to talk about was ethics and capitalism, which is a bit of an interesting topic.
Yeah.
What are your general thoughts on capitalism?
I meme about like being pro-communism, but like,
but you're not.
I'm not actually. Like, I don't necessarily believe in communism. I think there's some like lovely ideas there, but like, I do think that there's like some good things in capitalism. We just need to like, shift the economy to make it work for us and like make some changes, but like overall good.
Yeah, so I read something in an article that I thought like really summed up what Tom is going through.
What I'm going through specifically, or
so I think this article said there is a tendency to compare existing capitalist societies to an idealized socialist society.
Yeah,
which I think, like, obviously the idealized society is going to win out.
Yeah.
Even if you do it the other way, if you compare existing socialist societies to idealized capitalist societies, capitalism will win out because there's flaws in both.
Yeah.
Capitalism definitely has its benefits. I was reading an article about capitalism and it talked about how life expectancy has risen from like about 28 years to over 70 years because of capitalism.
Wait, what? Okay, no. Hold up. Just to like clarify, life expectancy is of 28 years. Like, people were expected to live longer than that as long as they lived through like the first year of their life. Like, the difference was so many people died at birth.
It was terrible. An average, yes.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're just like irritated because of the statistical issue with that, or like the numbers issue.
It frustrates me when people say like life expectancy of 28 years, but like not that many people were dying at the age of 28.
No, it's not the median, it's the mean.
That's
your issue.
The median. Actually, I don't even know what the median would have been. This seems to suggest that like almost half of people would have been dying in childbirth, which sort of suggests the median might actually be like pretty low.
Basically, capitalism has improved life expectancy. Are you happy with that?
Yeah. I'm happy with that. Yeah.
And I think, and it's like, yeah, definitely overall we live better lives now because of capitalism.
Yeah, definitely.
But obviously there are areas where it is flawed. And basically the most flawed area is it doesn't really think about the future. Especially capitalism with no future orientation is not good. Like, with no goals toward the future, or like, if it's not thinking about future generations and what they're going to have to go through, then it's quite negative.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest problem with capitalism at the moment, ethically. So then I found this thing called ethical capitalism, which is
nice.
exactly what it sounds like.
Let me guess. Does in this system the government like enforces a tax on things which are like unethical? Or no, not that.
No,
okay,
that's not it. But no, it's more obvious than that. Basically, it's just a focus on creating long-term economic and social value. And it's a commitment by business to act as stewards of the full spectrum of its constitution. Okay, I can't even say that word. Trying to read out the definition of ethical capitalism, and it's not ethical how they wrote it. Because it's tripping me up. Basically, it's looking toward more the future. And this actually rewards business because businesses that adopt this model attract more customers and reduce operating costs through energy efficiency, lower waste, and employee loyalty and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. I don't
Thoughts on this?
I don't want to sound like too much a skeptic.
Oh no.
But I am a skeptic. This sort of just sounds like a bunch of people holding hands, skipping around, going la-di-da-di-da in a field, saying we're going to make the world better by all being ethical together. And like, it's wonderful that they're doing that. But I don't.
Is that not like?
I don't think you can ever say, yeah, like if all businesses were ethical, the world would work. Like. It would be way easier if we just said, if governments said we're going to tax things that we realize are like unethical and like bad for the environment or whatever. That sounds like way easier. It's like there's no point in which you can say like yes, every business is going to follow this. Like it is way easier to just like tax carbon consumption, and then like people just naturally will use less like carbon, because then like it'll cost more to do that.
Yeah, I guess that is true. That's the hard truth. But like, also I just feel like a lot of businesses now are seeing the value of trying to be more environmentally conscious.
I don't want to criticize those businesses. They're not like doing anything wrong, and people advocating for this are also not doing anything wrong. I just don't think it's like the best solution, or like the solution which will like end up leading to the greatest change. But that said, like, it's still good. I don't want to sound like too much of a cynic.
That's okay. Well, like, you're kind of right as well. Like, some of this has led to like greenwashing of products. Have you like heard of greenwashing?
I haven't.
Yeah, so basically it's when a corporation or like company claims that their product is particularly environmentally conscious when it's not. So they won't claim it, actually. Then they'll get sued. But they'll say something like, like there's this shampoo you can buy called like, I forgot what it's called. It's like Love Earth shampoo or something, some cringy name like that. Does nothing for the environment.
But they're just advocating that you love the
There's
earth.
a lot of silicon in it and other not good things. But yeah, they're just like, I think it's got the word planet in it, actually.
What's bad about silicon?
It's like it's not good for your hair or the environment, actually. Like, it's really bad. Silicon in shampoo should just not be a thing. But it makes your hair shiny, so people think that it's good, but it's it's not good for your hair long term.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Or the environment long term.
Or the environment, yeah, basically. Well, because silicon's a plastic, isn't it? Yeah. It's like it's in plastic.
Yeah,
it's the bad thing in the plastic. One of the bad things. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know much about this. I know that silicon is an element that you can find on the periodic table.
Yeah, and it's in plastic, and it doesn't break down.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I think that's right.
That sounds...
Correct us if we're wrong, thanks.
Yeah.
Chemistry people.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that was an interesting discussion about capitalism.
Yep, love it.
We'll move on. So I was going to do a third topic on money and ethical thinking, which would have taken a look at the psychological aspects of money and decision-making. Because there's a lot of studies about that, and I thought it would be really interesting. But then I found way too many studies and decided maybe it deserves its own podcast episode. So if you're interested in, like, learning about how money relates to ethical decision making, I'd love to write that episode, so just let us know.
Yeah.
But not to be a spoiler, but like, money related prompts do not do good things for ethical decision making. That's what I'm gonna say. Thinking about money does not make people kinder. That's all I will say.
Shock.
Okay.
Everybody is shocked.
So, now we're going to move on to that was kind of like a mini topic that didn't really exist, but the third proper topic, which Tom will talk about. Yeah,
so we sort of mentioned this in our last episode, but...
Last week.
Yeah, last week. I went on an internship over the summer for I guess I'll just call it a trading firm that they like trade stuff using computers.
Fun, yeah,
it's fun. But since this like episode is about ethics and money and all that jazz, I thought I'd like add some like personal thoughts about like the financial markets.
Yeah. I don't even know what you're going to say, and I'm so interested.
Yeah.
I'm like ready to hear.
Yeah, because like I learned some things, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully you
in
didn't
those
just get
3
like
months.
brainwashed. I'd say overall, like the financial markets are like good. Like they do a lot of good. We were talking earlier about how capitalism like has raised life expectancy from 28 to 70, and like that's good, and like financial markets have been a part of that. So there's a lot of good that the financial markets do that I think people like kind of forget. Whenever they hear like Wall Street, they go, criminals and like stuff like that, but like not everyone on Wall Street is an evil person who's rich and wants to kill everyone. Well, most of them are rich anyway, but like but like not all of them want to like sacrifice lives of peasants to make money. Like
Yeah.
it's possible to make money without like doing harm to the world on Wall Street. I would say that.
Okay.
Not to say there
That's
aren't
interesting.
people who are like what I just described.
Yeah.
And there are obviously bad people doing bad things anywhere, and like where there's a bigger like payoff for doing that in places like Wall Street, you're going to attract more people with bad intentions. But I think like overall most people have good intentions. Anyway, apart from that like sort of very generalistic overview on my specific opinions about stuff, we'll sort of...
That was such a general statement. Apart from that generalistic overview about my specific opinions of stuff.
Okay. Apart from that, like just general overview on my opinions on that, we'll just go to like a specific thing that I kind of learned and like thought about and had quite a good discussion with one of the people I was working with there. But it was so basically there's this thing where if you're really fast, and there are a bunch of different firms that are really fast, like the one I was at is quite fast, although it's like I wouldn't say it specializes in being fast compared to the other like high frequency firms, but all of the like high frequency trading firms are really fast. But then occasionally, so a lot of the times you have like 2 different financial products or 2 different securities, which are just like a security is just anything that you can trade on a financial market. So for example, there's this ETF and there's this future, which both kind of track the same thing. So basically, I don't need to explain what an ETF is again, and I won't, like, because we did that in a previous episode.
Oh yeah, I think it was episode 8.
Yeah, 8. Investing.
Yeah, investing and everything. So go listen to that.
Yeah, listen to that. But you don't need to. You don't need to know what an ETF is. But there's this thing that you can trade, and there's this other thing that you can trade, and they're kind of different, but they track the same thing. So hypothetically, if one of them goes up 5%, the other one should also go up 5%, and they should like be very, very correlated. They should basically always be the same price. But so then when one of them changes in price for whatever reason, there's like a split second where, and when I say split, I mean very split, like we're talking microseconds, where you can do a trade where you like buy one of them that's cheaper and sell the other one that's more expensive and make money by doing that if one of them shifts in price. And it's kind of just random who gets to do that trade. It's like whoever just happens to send in their orders to the exchange first, and like since they're all happening so quickly, it's just pretty much completely random. But that because of that exists, because of things like that, it basically costs. Those people are then like making money in those trades by doing that, by like just being fast and sending a trade in that like is obviously like going to make money, but they're not really providing any value to the world. Because like, I don't know, Maddy, like for example, it is important to you that like, maybe not you specifically, but there are people who it's important to that those 2 things are like the same price. Like that is a service that the financial markets like provide, is that like if you're buying something, it is worth how much you're buying it for when you're buying it for, basically. Like maybe it's actually overvalued, but then it's not like people are like overvaluing it intentionally and then selling it to you. It's just that people have got it wrong and it's worth less than they thought, which is like a shame.